Before you scroll, stop for just a second, because what's happening in the WNBA right now could be the biggest crisis the league has ever faced, and hardly anyone wants to talk about it. The energy fading, the crowds thinning, the TV numbers dropping like a rock. And all of it traces back to one moment, the second Caitlin Clark went down with that groin injury. Now, sure, you could say it's just one player missing a few games, but this isn't just about Caitlin. This is about the league's entire momentum grinding to a halt, sponsors getting cold feet, and fans asking themselves, why even tune in? Here's the jaw-dropper. Since Caitlin's injury, nationally televised WNBA games have lost more than half their audience. That's not a typo. Over a 55% plunge. Think about it. Games that were hitting nearly 2 million viewers are now fighting to break 850,000. The Indiana Fever, once can't-miss TV thanks to Clark's fearless play and highlight reels, saw their ratings chopped in half almost overnight. And it's not just the regular season. Even the league's biggest stage, the All-Star Game, took a massive hit. What should have been a showcase of the WNBA's brightest stars barely cleared 2 million viewers, down 36% from last year when Clark was setting the court on fire. Even dream matchups, like the Fever versus the Chicago Sky, flopped without her. Lowest numbers since Clark and Angel Reese joined the league. What used to feel like an event now plays like background noise. Numbers like this don't just happen by chance. Something has shifted deep within the league's foundation, and if you dig into the details, the picture gets even more alarming. This was never just a numbers problem. It's a star power problem. And deep down, the league knows it. Caitlin Clark wasn't just another rookie. She wasn't just another all-star. She was the center of gravity for the entire WNBA season. The Caitlin Clark effect wasn't hype. It was measurable. Every time she stepped on the court, ticket prices jumped, local businesses saw a bump, and TV networks broke records. She wasn't just playing basketball. She was rewriting the script for how women's sports could own the mainstream conversation. And she wasn't carrying that torch alone. Enter Angel Reese, Clark's fiercest rival on the court, and a headline-generating magnet off it. Together they turned the season into a must-watch soap opera. Their matchups weren't just games. They were events. The trash talk, the intensity, the split fan loyalties. It was drama you couldn't script better if you tried. But then, it all unraveled. First, Clark's groin injury benched the league's biggest draw. Then Reese's absences in key games poured gasoline on an already burning ratings crisis. It was like yanking LeBron and Steph out of the NBA playoffs at the exact same time. The casual fans, gone. The storylines, flat. And even when the games stayed competitive, they just didn't feel the same. The league knows it. Sponsors can feel it. TV executives are scrambling to stop the bleeding. But here's where it gets weird. While TV audiences are vanishing, something unexpected is happening inside the arenas. Because in-person attendance, it's not collapsing. In fact, in some cities, it's climbing. Here's the curveball nobody saw coming. While TV ratings are tanking, in-person numbers are telling a completely different story. Games on ABC up 17% compared to last season. ESPN holding steady. And in San Francisco, the brand new Golden State Valkyries are packing in more than 18,000 fans a night. NBA-level crowds for a franchise that literally didn't exist a year ago. Inside the arenas, it's electric. Fans are showing up, buying merch, waving signs, and turning WNBA games into live events that feel huge. But here's the problem. That energy isn't making its way onto the national stage. Without Caitlin Clark in the lineup, the storylines fade. The rivalries lose their bite. The viral moments that once dominated social media start drying up. And that momentum with casual viewers, it's slipping through the league's fingers. Right now, the WNBA is living in two different realities. Inside the arenas, die-hard fans, sold-out seats, pure adrenaline. On TV, a growing void where millions of viewers used to be. And no team is feeling that split more than the Indiana Fever. Since Clark went down, they've been in full survival mode. To their credit, they've hung in there. 10 wins, 9 losses, still in the playoff hunt, and even an unexpected Commissioner's Cup trophy. On paper, that's resilience. But if you've been watching closely, you can see the cracks. Clark wasn't just their top scorer. She was the engine, the heartbeat. Without her, the Fever have been scrambling to rebuild their identity on the fly, leaning on players who were never meant to carry the franchise's full weight. The ball movement is slower. The fast breaks don't hit the same. That inevitability, that feeling that Clark could flip the game at any moment, is gone. Yet somehow they're clawing out wins. Ugly, exhausting wins that take everything they've got. But how long can you run a marathon with one shoe before the pain finally catches up? And here's the most fascinating twist. Even from the sidelines, Caitlin Clark refuses to disappear. It's almost like she's turned her absence into another kind of performance. Cameras can't stay away. Whether she's standing with arms crossed, laser-focused, or leaning in to whisper to a teammate, every clap, every shake of her head becomes instant internet fodder. The league might be missing her on the court, but she's still the WNBA's biggest storyline, without even touching the ball. There was one game that said it all. Caitlin Clark, standing near the bench, suddenly stepped forward and physically pulled her coach back before he could get slapped with a technical foul. A tiny moment on the surface, but it spoke volumes. Awareness, leadership, protectiveness. Even when she can't score a single point, she's still protecting her team. Then there was the clap, not just any clap. A sharp cracking sound that cut through the arena after a questionable call. The crowd roared in agreement. Clark wasn't just watching the game, she was inside it. Reading defenses, calling coverages, signaling plays, keeping the bench alive with energy. Younger players drift toward her mid-game for advice. Veterans nod with respect when she speaks. It's as if she's transformed from floor general to sideline commander, orchestrating the whole operation without even touching the ball. And for a rookie who hasn't even played a full season, that's rare. Most players in her spot would rehab quietly, smile for the cameras, and fade into the background until they were ready to return. Clark has done the opposite, staying vocal, staying visible, and keeping her competitive fire burning right there for millions to see. But her presence is also a cruel reminder of what's missing. Every time she pumps her fist after a made shot, fans imagine her being the one to take it. Every time she urges a teammate to push the pace, they picture how much faster and more dangerous it would be with her leading the charge. The longing for her return has become an obsession. Sports outlets track her recovery like it's an election campaign. Every rumor about her timeline explodes across social media and lights up sports talk shows. The league, the Fever, the sponsors, they're all waiting on the same thing. And if she's not back before the playoffs, that's when the real storm could hit. Because the postseason is supposed to be the crown jewel, the time when rivalries catch fire, casual fans tune in, and every possession feels like it could define a season. But right now, a shadow hangs over it all. Will Caitlin Clark be there? Sources say top league executives are tracking her recovery like hawks. They know what's at stake. Without her, the WNBA's postseason could take a crushing hit. In ratings, in sponsorship buzz, and in the momentum that made this year feel like a turning point. Make no mistake, Clark has been the single most bankable star in the WNBA this season, and her absence has already exposed a hard truth. The league's rise isn't just built on basketball, it's built on her. Behind the scenes, there's a quiet tension you won't see on camera. Network partners aren't just worried about TV ratings anymore. They're looking at the ripple effect on advertising revenue. When you build an entire season's marketing push around one player, losing her at the most critical moment isn't just bad luck. It's a business crisis. And it gets worse when you think about the fan experience. Those viral playoff moments, the buzzer beaters, the jaw-dropping plays, the clips that dominate sports shows for days, are harder to find without someone who can create them on demand. Even rival teams get it. Sure, they want to beat the Fever, but they also know Clark's presence lifts the whole league. A postseason without her might be more wide open competitively, but it won't have the same electricity. That's the tightrope the WNBA is walking right now, balancing the unpredictability of sports with the very real need to keep the spotlight blazing. The next few weeks could decide not just how this season ends, but how the league positions itself for years to come. And with the clock ticking, the question isn't just will Clark be ready, it's can the league afford for her not to be. Because right now, the WNBA is living in two realities: packed arenas, loyal fans, and a product finally breaking into the mainstream conversation. A gutted TV audience, proving just how much of the league's momentum rests on one player's shoulders. Caitlin Clark didn't just step onto the court and change the game. She changed the business, the marketing, and the very identity of the league. Her absence is like pulling the main thread from a tightly woven fabric. Sure, it's still holding together, but the edges are already starting to fray. The Fever have shown they can survive without Caitlin Clark, but survival isn't the same as thriving, and everyone in the league knows it. Every day she's out, the buzz cools just a little more. Every day another casual viewer drifts away, and that's exactly why her eventual return, whenever it comes, is shaping up to be a moment ready to detonate. The kind of comeback that could reignite the season, supercharge playoff ratings, and remind the world why the hype was never just hype. Because at its core, this isn't only about one injury, one player, or one team. It's about a league learning in real time just how much it depends on its brightest stars, and how dangerous that dependency can be. The WNBA has the talent, the storylines, the fan passion. The climb is still there for the taking. But the Caitlin Clark era has already proven one thing beyond doubt: the entire temperature of a sport can change with the health of a single player. And right now, the heat is off. The only question is, will she be the one to turn it back on?